Welcome back. This is the Daily Brief. Let's cross over to a joint sitting within the National Assembly of the Committees on Trade as well as Agriculture. Speaking right now is Kenny Member of Parliament, Kanini Kega.
Keeping, though it's still, yes, or yes, Wakili.
Chair, I think even if an officer has taken an oath of office on matters of evidence, oath ought to be taken when someone is giving evidence, and this person is giving evidence before the committee. So you cannot be exempted because you have taken an oath of office. You have to take a fresh oath of evidence which you're committing or giving before the committee.
I want to hear, Honorable Manzo.
You know, the oath taken at the time of oath of office is prescribed by law and is very different from the oath taken while you are giving evidence. There are two different types of oaths, Mr. Chair. So we have to insist that any officer willing to give evidence must be put on oath.
We want more contributions on that, and especially the lawyers and also the. I mean, we are. it's an open forum. We say that we are still doing the housekeeping issues.
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Chairman Kaduri.
Chair, I'm not a lawyer, but I didn't know during my lecture time. I didn't want to concur with the running friends that this type of oath is totally different from the oath of office, and I think they should be subjected to that. Thank you.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Serem.
What calls for oath of office? What calls for an oath? Chair, unless you feel that the information that are likely to be given are misleading, or there's half truth, or there's no truth in it, Chair. So you always call for oath when there's a need for. Otherwise, it's not necessary that somebody has to take an oath when they appear before committee, unless you feel that the information given by with the witness are not in order. Otherwise, it's not necessary.
Honorable Asheri.
Chair, I don't think we are here to change the parliamentary proceedings. You have a clerk sitting on your left. He should be able to guide you on what needs to be done at this point, because we don't want to change the laws.
Absolutely. I wanted to be a very fair chair to give members time to also exhale and also give their views. But as you know, Parliament has also precedence, you know, what you have said in the past. And I don't think we will be the first committee to change the precedence. Yeah. Yes, Dr.
Yeah. The same point that there are the traditions and the way Parliament has conducted business in the past. Secondly, every person who is appearing before us will basically give us a presentation in writing. That's what I believe. And therefore, there are no chances of changing anything. And finally, those who are already on oath, I do not think it is necessary to administer oath again.
Yeah, so as I had earlier said, and I think we will be in agreement, the CS and the PS, because we have seen them taking the oath, you know, there's a clear affirmation that they have already taken oath. But for the rest that we don't know whether they have taken an oath, those are the persons that I'm saying that they have to be under oath, because, yes, Ibarati, Honorable Sibo.
I would want just to understand, under what circumstances that we need to put anybody who comes before us under oath, because there must be an express, you know, directive from our standing orders or the law, so that we don't operate in a jungle. Yeah.
Yeah, I read, and I think I will have to read it again. Members, please. That is Article 125 of the Constitution, which says powers to call for evidence. Either House of Parliament and any of the committees has powers to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. 2, for the purpose of clause 1 the House of Parliament and any of its committees has the same powers as the High Court. In A, to enforce the attendance of witness and examine them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. That is the Constitution. That is Article 125 of our Constitution.
But Chair, point of order, Chair.
Thank you, Daktari.
As a member has also said, we have had several meetings already with, we've invited the CSS and other people to witness various committees, and I've not witnessed this issue of taking another oath. So this will be a unique one because we have.
I think we have agreed on the CSS and the PSs. Those are state officers.
Okay. So
and they are already under oath. Yeah. So for the rest of the other witnesses, to me, because we don't know whether they have taken any oath, they should be under oath.
Point of order, Chair. You are basing your ruling on what law? Or what procedure, or what fact? It's based on
Honorable Manzo, you are a lawyer, my good friend. It is about precedents that we have set also in Parliament. Yeah, and also the rules that we have, and I have also read to you. Honorable Washiri?
Chairman, I think as a committee, we need to agree whether we have summoned the witnesses or whether we have invited them. Because if we have summoned them, then the law that what you are reading would hold water. But if you have invited them,
we have invited them.
If you have invited them, then you can read again the same
yes, we have
standing order. Because you are asking them to do when they have been summoned. I mean, to carry to take oath, because you can only take oath when you have been summoned, but you cannot take oath when you have been invited.
Yeah, chair education also, you know, you have, and I'm giving you this opportunity because as a chair education, you have also chaired.
Yes, thank you.
Other meetings.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I'm here as a member of the Sugar Caucus because of the interests of my constituents. And two, I think, Chair, your direction is very clear, that the cabinet secretaries have actually taken oath, or state officers have taken oath, but you are, at your discretion, Chair, you can still administer an oath to an officer whom you think is not actually being true to service. So that one is at your discretion.
Thank you, Chair.
It's a very important issue you have left out, Chair. The moment the Speaker set up this joint committee, it was a very serious matter, and we were going to do it within the law and within the Constitution. I do not know where you are getting force of law to say we have invited. The proper interpretation is that they have been summoned. It's only that the message went as an invitation, but it's a summon. Chair, unless we are not serious as a joint committee, there should be summons. That's why the minister is right. That's why the CS is not here. No. Because it is at his leisure.
Summons as a matter of procedure. We only summon witnesses if they fail to appear before the committee. When they are invited in the committee, if they fail to appear the third time, that's the time we now invoke.
Chair.
Yes, Vice Chair Wangwe.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think Honorable Manzo is reading too much law in this issue, and sometimes too much of something is poisonous. I would want to say,
like sugar.
I would want to, like now the sugar we are talking about, I would want to say this with due respect to my colleagues. This is a pure invitation. And once we have invited the CS, it is an invitation within the standing orders. This is not a summon. Therefore, we have to go as per any invitations, and once the chair feels that that particular witness is not being honest to us, then we can now administer the oath. But if we feel that that person is telling us what is within the law, in our view as at now, then that should stand the test of the situation. Thank you, Chair.
Well put. And I think, Wakili, the last one, Wakili.
Chair, my question is, does it mean that when someone is invited, that evidence is not material? I believe whether it is through an invitation or a summon, the evidence that will be given before this joint committee is very material. So what is so hard for us is to stick to the law and the Constitution to give an oath to give evidence, not an oath of office. It is an oath to give evidence before this committee. I believe it's prudent so that we don't have a loophole, that someone can challenge the proceedings of this committee, that everyone abides with the law as to evidence and the Constitution.
Honorable members, that one now remains with the chair. Whether to administer or not is now in the discretion of the chair. And I think our witnesses, I think they should be around the corner. Yes, Dr. Mutunga?
Chair, I thought we agreed that those who are not state officers will have to...
May. That's the point, yes. Okay. That's the reason I said now it remains now with the leadership here.
But I know you... Chair, we cannot say that we shall assess what is being said to know whether it is correct or not. So we advise at the oath. You advise at the point of...
I think... yes, go on.
Yes, Chair, based on you had indicated that you are going to...
Be a bit...
yes.
The mics have failed us.
Sorry. Indicated minutes to 11. I think we are late. And we should
absolutely, and I said it. Yes. I said our witness is here. Yes. So I think we are good to go.
Deliberating as to whether the cabinet secretary should take yet another oath as he appears before the joint house committees of trade as well as agriculture. It's what was happening right there. And I'd like to take final comments from my panel here just before we listen into some of the questions that the cabinet secretary will be taking. And of course, now answered one of our questions is answered. We've seen CS Mwangi Kiunjuri appearing before this. We shall see whether the other cabinet secretaries will do the same. But of bigger concern is what comes off from these probes by the house committees and the kind of deliberations that come up. Justice, any hope on this particular process?
Yes, we hope that they manage to expose the big fish. Yeah. Because actually this is, I think, what really this will be geared towards. But let's not downplay the effect on certain order and plans that certain societies have. And those are the major cartels. Mm-hmm. Those are the major cartels that even states, governments are not being able to handle. And our individuals, our few brothers and sisters who have succeeded are driven by greed and selfishness. And in issues they're ignorant about. Because if they knew that we need to come together as a team with the citizen interest at the center of every initiative that we are doing as a community, especially in Africa, then yes, we will move our country from third to first. We will remove our citizens, our children, from being least to equal or even first in the face of humanity. But the mechanisms and the orders and the activities that these guys are having are not new to us. Both are applied chemical weapons, biological weapons, food poisoning, and to date we've seen Catholics shouting on the vaccines that are dangerous to our communities. We've had people exposing ills in our education system. We've had people exposing a lot of rot within our in our society, which we cannot just sideline because of our political engagements. If one political wing was driven by greed and selfishness and already within the mire, it is high time we all learn together that the push to transform our nation requires a teamwork and requires individuals who knows the underworld powers and how they are working within this world we are in.
Okay, Peter.
Yeah, my thoughts first of all is I really hope the MPs will be, the committees will be successful in fetching the information. Okay. But I just hope the information they're going to fetch is not for politicizing. I hope the information they will fetch will actually be able to shape the direction on how do we avoid such from happening in the future. How they're going to be able to shape the policy matters. How they're going to be able to shape the budgeting, because obviously all these issues seems from a neglect on budgeting for these agencies. So I really hope that the MPs, you know, this is an issue that is very important for Kenyans, and I just hope that whatever information they will get from the both CSS and the investigation they are doing, let's use it to prevent future, but punish those actually who are, who are culpable. And at the end of the day, what is very important is we really need to have end to this, not only in sugar, but also in other sectors.
Okay, the members of the joint committees of trade as well as agriculture, they're introducing themselves before they start probing the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture. On this end, I've been speaking to Peter Chemugut as well as Justice Juma. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. I believe we'll be listening in a bit to the House Committee before we take a short commercial break.
Your mic on. Good. Plus one. Get the other mic. Check with the other mic.
My name is James Luseti, MP Kapchai, member of Trade.
My name is Silas Tiren, MP Moiben constituency, and I'm a member of Agriculture Committee.
It's Yagot, MP constituency, and I'm
That has a problem. That mic has a problem. Just press once. Just once.
Good morning. My name is Alois Lontoimaga, Member of Parliament for Samburu North, and a member also of Trade and Industry.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Benjamin Jomo Washiali. I'm the MP for Mumias East in Kakamega County, and I'm also Chief Whip, Majority Party, and a very close friend of this joint committee.
Morning, members. I'm Justice Murunga, Member of Parliament Matungu, and Committee Member of Agriculture.
My name is Florence Mutua, County MP Busia, Member of the Agriculture Committee.
My name is Simbarati, MP the Great North, Member of Agriculture Committee.
My name is Emmanuel Wangwe, Member of Parliament for Navaholo and Vice Chair, Agriculture and Irrigation Committee.
My name is Nixon Korir, Member of Parliament Langata Constituency, Member of Trade, Industry and Cooperative Committee.
My name is Daniel Manzo, Member of Parliament for Makueni Constituency, Member of the Committee of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
I am Dr. James Nikal, Member of Parliament for Seme Constituency in Kisumu County. I'm neither member of the Agriculture Committee or the Trade Committee, but I'm a friend of the committee because of my interest in health matters that are in this issue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Kaburi Murongi, member for South Imenti constituency, and a member of Trade, Industry and Cooperative Committee.
No. Yeah, proceed. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Julius Melly, Member of Parliament in that constituency, and a member of the Sugar Caucus, and a very close friend of this committee.
Good morning. I'm Honorable Hilary Kosgei, Member of Parliament for Kipkelian West, member of the Committee on Environment, but a friend of this committee through the Sugar Caucus.
So the friends are sitting at the back. Anyway, proceed.
Good morning. My name is Nelson Koech, Member of Parliament Belgut, a friend of this committee, and through the caucus.
Thank you.
Charles Kilonzo, a Member of Parliament in attendance.
Okay. And then we have the Secretary to not do the introduction for the interest of time. And now we invite the CS, Agriculture and Irrigation to also do the introduction of his team. Karibu Waziri.
Thank you very much, Chairman, both the committees, and allow me to start by apologizing, although I called you earlier to inform you that there are some delays. With the permission, allow me to introduce my team, to ask them to introduce themselves. I'm Mwangi Kinjuri, Cabinet Secretary, Agriculture.
Happening right now, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture is appearing before a joint committee of both the Agriculture as well as Trade of the National Assembly. I'm also now joined by Dennis Ntumbi as well as Michael Agwanda. I've also been told that indeed the Managing Director of KEBS, Mr. Charles Ongwe, has appeared before the court. We shall be crossing over there a little bit shortly to listen into some of the charges that have been leveled against them. Gentlemen, perhaps your opening remark on the war on counterfeit goods, including the very reason to one happening right now is on the probe of the contraband sugar. Michael.
Thank you very much, Ian, and good morning, our viewers. What is happening in Parliament today is a joint committee of trade as well as agriculture trying to intervene or investigate on the contraband goods, and more specifically about the sugar that has been loaded into this country that is contaminated with a lot of other impurities. My prayer is that, my opening remark is that I hope that this report will not find itself in the shelves as many other reports
as it has been in the past. Okay, I'm just taking opening remarks right now. Dennis, what are your thoughts? And as you can see, if we can bring that, if we can enlarge that picture in court, we're also seeing that the Managing Director, Mr. Charles Ongwe, has appeared there. We shall be listening into some of the charges, but you can also comment on that, Dennis.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very glad to see, you know, that what we're doing as a country, exposing the evil that the counterfeit and the illicit trade industry has done in this country. And also it's unfortunate to see the various interests, selfish interests playing out already at the committee, and I'm hoping that they'll you know, do their provisions or their presentations under oath so that is taken as serious evidence. If you look at the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD has listed Kenya within the 3 countries that abet illicit trade and counterfeit, and which is extremely huge. We are looking at an industry, at an illegal industry that is bigger than our own economy. So this is something that we need to fight with everything possible because it denies us of desired revenue. It's poisoning our population, and this is something that is bound to have this country fall. We've operated on a surplus budget for such a long time because such industries are denying us of wanted revenues. Cancer has become a scourge in this country because we are feeding our people with poison. And these characters, these criminals, these crooks, they don't care about the stability and the well-being of this country. So we need to fight them with everything we have.
Okay. Thank you very much. We now would like to take a short commercial break following 2 events happening now concurrently is where we are at, that is the Milimani Law Courts, where the top KEBS management have appeared before the judge there. We shall be listening into some of the charges leveled against them. Below we have CS Mwangi Kinjuri appearing before joint sitting of the National Assembly. That is of trade as well as agriculture. We shall also listen in shortly. But first, we take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.